Yeah, folks. So it's kind of cool because now this is the fourth set of brothers that I've had on the show. So earlier we had, I think the first ones we had the Palmers, then we had the Lees, then we had my cousins, the Kukahikos. Now we have my other cousins, the Sam Fonks. And you had Duke that was on, I think it was last week, and now I got his brother Wylder. And it was cool because my dad's been watching the show and he corrected me. So it's actually, you guys are related. The Sam Fongs are related on my dad's side from Ni'ihau. From my dad's mom. They get family out in Ni'ihau. And you know Ni'ihau, that's Hawaiian that. So I'm glad my dad watched the show and stuff and just, kind of corrected me. But that's just proof that I got to find out more about my roots. But the thing with Wylder, back in the days, me, Duke, and Wylder used to watch a lot of the high school football games, especially the Kamehameha football games. My dad and his dad would hang out, and we'd be down in the stands watching the players, do their thing. Duke and Wylder ended up playing football. I ended up playing volleyball and canoe paddling instead. And from what I remember, Wylder and Duke were pretty strong brothers. They're pretty strong guys. But you did wrestling too.
No.
Wylder. Well, okay.
I played basketball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Duke did wrestling as well, but very good athletes, just like their father. And I'm gonna stop talking and let him do the rest, so you get to know him. So here he is, my cousin, brother Wylder Sam Fong. Bro, if you could please go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Roots, Wylder Sam Fong. Like everyone said, we're cousins. Grew up in Kalihi. Went to Kamehameha until my parents uprooted us. If you watch all of Gavon's shows, then you saw my brother on last week. So he kind of talked a little bit about us moving from Hawaii to St. George, Utah, where I ended up graduating from Pineview High School, just like my brother. Come to find out years later that it was my fault that Duke couldn't stay home and graduate from Kamehameha because the younger brother would throw a fit that he had to go to Utah, and Duke got to stay home and graduate his senior year from Kamehameha. So, oh well. But then I ended up, after a long tour of Utah colleges, graduating from Weber State. Ended up getting a master's through Utah State University while chasing my education degree, my education license, my teaching license. So now I've been teaching high school and junior high math for 14 years now. But yep, that's a little bit about me.
Mathematics runs in the Sam Fong blood because your brother Duke did it.
Yep.
I know you doing it. I know your Uncle Kili did it. Did your dad teach math too?
No, my mom did.
Oh, see, there you go.
I think so did our Auntie Bernadine.
Yeah.
She did. Yep.
Yeah, mathematics, bro. Runs in the Sam Fong blood. Mathematics and athletics.
yeah, maybe. Or whatever. You just as athletic.
Oh, I don't know about just as athletic.
Just as athletic. I remember playing volleyball with you, and I wasn't the volleyball player. I had to came back from my mission, and I had to learn how to play volleyball because everyone in my family was playing volleyball. And if I wanted to be included, I had to learn. And I wouldn't say that I'm very good, but I remember playing with you at UVSC.
Dude, I just was going to bring that up.
Intramurals.
Yeah. Oh. Didn't we win? We won, right?
Watching you jump and hit the ball. Freaking guy.
Well, especially because you're like 6'2", 6'3", and I'm only 5'8", bro. I gotta try to jump by.
Out-jump me. Fricka. That was good fun, though. That was good fun.
But talk about athleticism. As one cheerleader, I know you was. That's not an easy thing to do because you're throwing bodies up and down in the air and stuff like that. You got to be like somewhat of a gymnast to do that kind of stuff, man.
Bro, you said I didn't have to share anything I didn't want out there, but then go ahead and bring that up.
Okay, you want me to edit it out? I'll go edit them up.
That's okay.
I don't know why you
That's
shameful
okay.
about because cheerleaders shoot they um, for first of all they get to meet all these girls, right? All these pretty girls, and they all super strong. All the guys I know that cheerlead, they're super strong. Guys can try mess with them, and they know they're gonna lick them.
I was just brown. That's why. I wasn't super strong. I was just brown. Hawaiian strength.
Oh, bro, that's funny, man. No, no, seriously, thanks for being on the show, bro. When you were getting your master's degree, um, how was it transitioning into a career after that? Like going for your master's, get teacher certificate. You kind of knew, like, oh yeah, guaranteed this is the path I want to take. What inspired you to do that path anyway? Be a teacher.
So it started off when I went to school. Took me a long time to graduate because I started off in math education. I got an associate's from Dixie State. Oh, that's a long story too. Out of high school, I was supposed to go to the Air Force Academy, but then I broke my foot. I missed basic training over the summer, so he said, "Oh, too bad. You gotta try again. You gotta do the whole application again." I was like, "No, that was too hard. That was too much work. So whatever." So I ended up at Dixie. It was just Dixie College back then, and so I got my associates from there. Then I went to BYU Hawaii, where I met a girl, got married, and a year later got divorced. So it was a pretty pretty quick marriage. So I ended up, trying to figure out life from there. Went to Utah, UVSC, struggled. Decided, oh, I'm gonna switch schools. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna switch um, degrees. Try and start life over again. So I went to the University of Utah and tried to go into what was it called? Sports administration or something like that. I can't remember. I lasted a year. And then I went to Weber State after that. I'd been in school for a long time already. I was going on 6 years already. And so I heard I was in a 3-year program and I had just started. And Weber State had a program that I could be done in a year. So I was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go finish in a year and power ready. But I graduated in, it's called Bachelor's of Integrated Studies, which is nothing. It's just like, it's kind of like a put together your own degree. So it was basically 3 minors just put together. And basically, I just wanted to be done with school. So I graduated college at the age of 30 almost. I was 29. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to become a teacher now. So I had to find a different path. And so Utah State had a program where I could get my master's and my teaching license at the same time. And so that's what I did. And teaching's been a struggle, but like Duke said, I think that's I feel that's where I was supposed to be. So
Was your dad a teacher too? Uncle Winston.
he was everything. Yeah, he had worked in education as well. He taught like PE and history, I think. But yeah, he was a school teacher too for a long time.
Oh, that's cool, bro. Yeah, my my mom was a teacher for the longest time too, and quite frankly, I never wanted to be a teacher because I always felt like teachers give so much, and the compensation usually doesn't match up in my mind. Because especially with my mom, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but one time when my mom was teaching, I think it was like second or third grade, one student would threaten my mom with a pair of scissors.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was ticked when I found out. I was a little kid. I found out, but basically, I can't remember all the details, but I think we got police involved. My dad obviously got a gun involved too and stuff, and that kid never did that crap again. you know. But I remember when that happened, I told myself, I don't want to deal with that crap because you can put one scissors on me. I don't know what I might do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't know how I might react. I mean, if a kid wouldn't put one scissors on you, just kind of think about it, right? Like, anyway, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. So I told myself no. But it's funny because the work that I do now is so relevant to education, right? I do like the online training, making all these educational tools, but from like the technical side, making these digital multimedia training modules for schools and for businesses too. Right now, it's for a business, but yeah, it's just kind of interesting how I still fell into it, even though I'm not a teacher. I'm like the teacher's tech support. Doing all the digital stuff, and I love it, bro. It's good fun, man. It's good fun. I get to be real creative and help out teachers make their job easier.
It's different. Like kids these days, I don't relate to them. Like it's such a different world from when we grew up going to school. So, and part of me still has. I just watched Duke's video when
Yeah,
interviewing him, so
yeah.
I kind of laughed because he said we moved here, and then all of a sudden I got a temper.
Oh yeah, that's right. So tell your side of the story. That's why I wanted to get you on the show. Tell your side.
Oh, I probably always had a temper though. But moving here, it was different. Back home, you can have a temper, but you know what's gonna happen when you stare at somebody or you talk stupid or you know what's gonna happen, right?
Right,
You know if you talk, it's gonna come to blows, right? People not gonna just let you tell them something stupid or look at them sideways and they're not gonna do nothing. But we moved up here and all of a sudden people just it was to me it was like people feel like they can do whatever they want to do and
right.
nothing should happen.
Yeah, no consequences,
No
right?
consequence. Yeah, no consequences, no responsibility, and the first thing my dad taught us when we moved up here was the way he said it was keep your nose clean.
Yeah,
He said it's different. This is not Hawaii. You cannot go around getting into trouble. You're gonna yeah, you keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble. And Duke did, I didn't. But it was harder for me. And living here all these years still, you'd think I would have gotten used to it. But the kids these days, I feel like it's even more like that, more entitled, more want something for nothing. I can do what I want and you can't do anything about it. And really, the system has gotten to a place where it's pretty much true. Like I feel like there's not really power that teachers have in the classroom. Kids don't care if they go to the principal's office. Kids don't care if they get yelled at. Kids don't care if they don't do their work. So it's been frustrating, but I mean, still, I've had a lot of like good moments, a lot of what do you call that? Like I can't even think. Weekends, bro. Weekends are when I get to turn my mind off and I don't have to think, right? Because teaching is really it's really involved. Like I feel like back then my teachers could just teach, but today I feel like I gotta be an entertainer, a babysitter, a teacher, and almost everything else. So it's exhausting, but it's still I still can't think of the word. It's a good profession to be in. I enjoy being in it. I really do. even though it's hard.
I've heard that from several people that were teaching as well. You know Sheldon Cavallo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I know he was on a show earlier too, and we've had conversations about it because, like I said, I never wanted to be a teacher just because I don't think I had the patience for it, honestly. But when Sheldon was talking to me about it, kind of like you, he said, yeah, sometimes it's hard, but it's so gratifying when you see your students
Gratifying.
progress and see the light bulb turn on. It's like, wow, it's so cool, right? It's like your own, like when your own children learn something you've been trying to teach them, and it's like, oh, I get it now. It's so cool. Is that the same for you? Is it the
Yeah,
gratifying
yeah.
part? Yeah.
Yeah, gratifying. That's the word. I teach math. That's why I teach math. I don't know words.
Me too. My wife and I joke around about that. Her vocabulary is way better than mine because I I don't like to read. I don't like to read. I get bored really quickly, man. But that's honestly why I enjoy my job because you know how sometimes people when they make presentations or trainings online, they just put a bunch of text, like a wall of text, and just bap, just put it on
Oh,
one
yeah,
slide.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, 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 you're not gonna do that. So I'm the guy that comes in, put digital animations, make games and stuff like that. It's like this is how I would need it. Somebody like me who don't like to read, you ain't gonna reach me. So this is how it should be.
Yep, yep. See, and I need a tech guy because I don't know how to use any of the technology, but the kids these days, they're more geared towards that. But all I can do is sit there and teach them math, old school style, and it's hard because I don't know how to use technology. So I got to catch up.
When you were in high school, you had like advanced math classes and stuff. You had like honors math and stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, bro. Yeah, Duke and
yeah.
I had same classes too. 7th, 8th grade. We had Mr. Ford. Uh,
Uh,
Ford, bro. 7th grade honors math. He was
yep.
cool. And honestly, it shocked me when my senior year, I finally realized that you guys weren't there, and I was just thinking to myself, what happened? It wasn't until like later on I found out you guys moved to Utah, and it's just like, oh, jeez.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just kind of was recognizing in the middle of the year. It was like, hey, where's Duke? you know,
Oh,
I didn't see him. And then it was Willard, I think, that told me like one time at church. He said, yeah, bro, Duke and Wylder, they left, bro. They went to Utah. I was like, what? When was this?
I
Dang.
think, and Duke said that Pineview was good to him,
Yeah.
and I cannot lie, Pineview was good. But when we moved there, I just had this, and I think this is part of why he said I always got in fights, was I just had this chip on my shoulder. It's not where I wanted to be. I never wanted to move. And so, like, my original plan was I was going to make my junior year so miserable that my parents would feel bad for doing that to me. And then they would send me home my senior year for go board or
See,
live with Uncle K.
so you had a
But
strategy.
I did, but then actually, I did well in school. I did well in sports. And so my mom was actually surprised because in the middle of the year I got suspended for doing something stupid. And so I had to stay home with her, and we ended up in a talk, and I was like, I hate it here. I hate this school. I hate this place. I want to go home. And she was surprised because, I was doing well. I was doing well in sports and everything. And so it was, and that's exactly why I said, like, Duke was gonna have an easier time adjusting, which is why my parents decided financially we needed to move. And so we needed to move now. Duke would be able to handle it because Wilder can't, and they were right. So Duke, um, yeah, I'd say, yeah, I had some anger problems.
It takes a real man to admit it, though, and then do
Well,
something about it. You know what I'm saying?
eh,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's taken me a while to do something about it, but that's okay.
What has been helping you deal with it, though? What's been helping you?
Okay, so first of all, I wasn't gonna do your show, but and growing up, I think for me, I fell into that mindset that, oh, I'm a boy, I'm Hawaiian, I gotta be tough. I don't like people picking on me, and um, boys don't cry, boys don't have emotions. Um, boys gotta stand up for themselves. So if you get into a fight, that's just what happens. And I've kind of carried that mentality with me a lot, like for the most of my life. But that's why when I hit my first marriage and I got divorced, and I'm not gonna lie, my world just got rocked, just rocked me because I had this vision in my mind of what life was supposed to be, and nowhere in there was included divorce, right? So I spiraled. I started failing classes. Uh, church was, it's not that I ever doubted God or stopped believing in God, but life just became hard. And I never learned to deal with emotions. The only emotion I dealt with was anger. And the way you deal with anger is you get into a fight. And then pow, right? But all the other emotions I never had to deal with. And so boys, I felt like I fell into that stigma or whatever, that you got to be tough. You just deal with it. And so I tried to deal with it, but I couldn't. And it was hard. So I started failing classes in school. And I think I always had a hard time with relationships anyway, but you know, you can see now my happy face. This is the kind of happy face I always walked around with. So people were, oh, he's intimidating looking. I don't know about this guy. And there's plenty. There's plenty that went on. And I know you talked about like some of the issues you went through, suicidal thoughts. Um, yeah, I've been there. And ever since I got divorced, my mom would tell me, Wilder, I think you need to talk to somebody. I think you need to get help. I was like, for what? What they gonna do? What would some stranger tell me that, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And if I can't find my own answers through them, what is some person going to tell me? What is sitting with someone and just telling them all my emotions, telling them everything I've been through? What is that gonna do? That's not gonna do anything. And so for years, my mom was telling me this for years. And so I ended up getting remarried at 30. How old was I? 2016. So I was like 38, 39. And it's been hard. She she has 4 kids. I had no kids. And just like Duke was talking about that cultural difference, I think there's a lot of cultural difference and these issues that I didn't think I had, which I most definitely had. that I brought into the marriage and brought into the family, and it's caused us, it's been a struggle with me and my new wife. Um, but just last year, I finally gave up and finally decided, because of the struggles I was having with my new marriage, that I would go to therapy. And this is funny because, I told my therapist, I told you I was going to give you my therapist's name because I think he would be good. He's from Big Island. I have a local therapist, which I tried to go to therapy before and I quit after 2 times because it was on Hawaii lady. And the first time I went in and told her what I was going through, I saw this look that I just felt judged. I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna work. And it was interesting, but my therapist just last week, I was talking with him and he told me that one of the things he wanted me to work on was he wanted me to um share my journey with people about therapy, which was interesting because it came right at the time when you were talking about being on your show. And so I just felt like this is my opportunity to share, not just therapy, but I don't believe it was just therapy. I 100% believe it was God. And as I've gone through therapy, I've just felt God, you know, reaching out to me through my therapist. I can't even tell you all the it's oh so to me, like you said, if there was something I wanted to say, like it was hard for me to give up that I gotta be tough. I don't have emotions. I can do this all on my own because I couldn't. And I thought I could, and it just caused me plenty problems. But going to therapy, being able to let go of all of those things which I didn't know was trauma. I didn't know was keeping me down. I didn't know was holding me back. It's been it's been I don't know. Like I finally feel like I can be happy and like I can be what I want to be. So so one thing I would want to say is like I don't know, I see my nephew. My nephew's going through a lot of the same things and same feelings and emotions that I've been through. And we all need help. Duke talked about having a family support, and my family is amazing. I love them. But, one of the hard things coming on the show is, and surprisingly, because I've been talking for like 10 minutes right now, I don't like to talk. And I especially don't like to talk about emotions. And so, I wouldn't tell my family stuff. I would get mad at my family if they just asked me where I was going, you know? I don't like, if I wanted you to know, I would tell you. Otherwise, don't ask. But so coming out and being able to talk to a therapist was really hard, but it has just blessed my life. And for those who think that we got to be these tough male figures and do everything on our own, we cannot. We need help. Even if anything, we need God. God's the ultimate source of everything anyway. But he gives people, he gives us family, he gives us therapists, he gives us people like you who wanna create programs like this to help people. We're all supposed to be a community. We were never supposed to live in a bubble. So for me, therapy has really helped me get rid of some of those misconceptions I've had so that I could have a happier spirit, a happier life. And that's like, yeah.
Much mahalo, bro. Seriously, that what you said right there is going to hit home for so many people listening to this channel, man. I believe it or not, I have resting mad face too. I get the same thing as you. And I was told when I was like in elementary school by several people, it's like, Kevon, you gotta watch, how you look. It's like, why? This is because you look like you like beat somebody up. This was when I was younger in elementary, intermediate. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, when I think, I do this, I scrunch up my face a lot. And so because I was told that, now every time I'm walking around, I'm kind of like forcing, I'm like trying to be like more positive looking, but it's it's not a lot of times that's not really me. My natural face is just like that.
Yeah, yeah.
If I look mad, well, too bad, bro. I'm relaxed. It's more stress to have to go around like that. You know what I'm saying?
Serious. Seriously, my students are always asking me, Sam Fong,
You okay?
yeah, you okay?
Yeah.
How come you're mad? What are you mad for? How come you're always mad? I'm like,
You're making me mad.
You've been in my class 6 months already. You don't know that this is how I always look. And I'm mad because you guys keep failing your tests because you don't do homework. So I walk around like you, yeah. I walk around, I put a smile on my face, and I start walking around, and everyone's like, Sam Fong, that's freaky. Stop doing that. Like,
it's like, what the hell is supposed to do?
I know, take your pick. Which one you like? This is my face.
Let me look freaky, or let me look like I like beat you up. Wow, which one?
Serious. Which one?
Oh, bro. No, seriously, that stuff you shared, man. I saw a therapist too a couple years back because the whole work-life balance thing was just stressing me out. And my wife and I was trying to juggle everything with COVID, and I had to go. And same thing like you, man. I was like, I get on, bro. Don't you worry. Why do I have to go see somebody that's going to tell me what I already know? And I got to share this with you real quick, something interesting. So there was this psychology training that I took one time and basically talked about how when we're stressed out, we get into survival mode, and it puts us like in that, they call it the bottom half of your brain. And that's where, when you go into survival mode, you start going into your basic survival instincts. So you start eating more. It's like stress eating. You start thinking about, honestly, you start thinking about sex more, which is why some guys fall into porn addiction. The whole idea when you survive, you got to reproduce. I was like, oh, I never thought about that before, and then you get angry more too, right? Because it's fight or flight. You're in that survival mode. And they were saying that the way to get out of that simple way is to talk to somebody else, because when you're in survival mode, you're only thinking about yourself. When you talk to somebody else, it automatically kicks you out of survival and puts you in a logical side of your brain. And then that's when you start releasing, all the trauma and everything like that. And when I heard that was just like the light bulbs just going off. I'm like, bro, now I get it why talk about talking to people is important. And if you don't know anybody to talk to, get on your knees and pray to God, man, because like you said, that's so important, man. But yeah, bro, I know we actually only get 1 minute left, but
shoot, that's okay.
Yeah. No, seriously, Wylder, bro. Seriously, hey, love you, bro. No joke.
Love you, man.
Appreciate you doing this, man, big time. And
thank you.
I'm gonna share this on Facebook, so you're gonna have plenty of people hitting you up, bro. I know you kind of like. No, seriously, what the message you just shared needs to be heard, because I know there's people that are going through those suicidal thoughts and just depression and everything right now, because they tell me personally, after watching that channel. So, yeah, man, just get ready for be a little bit more famous than what you don't like to be.
That's okay. I'm not on Facebook, so yeah. I don't go look on Facebook that much.
That's cool, bro. Hey, mahalo everybody for watching the channel, man. Thanks for watching Wylder share his stories. And brother, cuz appreciate you big time. One time we gotta, hopefully you come home soon, bro. We can talk story and stuff with everybody.
For real.
Okay, everybody, aloha, mahalo.